Ladies and gentlemen, when a young doctor on night shift is raped on the premises of her own hospital, how should the state respond? Should it ban night shifts and say that women doctors will not work for more than 12 hours? Or should it ensure that the hospital is made safe enough for all women to work in all shifts? Now, this question is a no-brainer. But West Bengal government, in what can only be called a hair-brained knee-jerk reaction, banned night shifts for women. When the notification was put out, it had many good initiatives, but it all drowned under the outrage and the criticism from working women. In a country where the glass ceiling at workplace is an immovable force, the last thing any working woman wants is concessions. Concessions like no night shifts or concessions like no 12-hour duties. Now, this is exactly what the Supreme Court of India, hearing the RG car matter today, told Mamata Banerjee's government. Actually, told is a pretty mild word. This was a public dressing down. The Chief Justice of India said, and I quote, "How can you say women cannot work at night? Why limit women doctors? They don't want concessions. They want equal opportunities." The Bengal government on its part said that the only aim of the directive was to secure women and not undermine their professional growth. Needless to say, the state government, after the rap from the Supreme Court, has decided to delete the clause in question. My guest this evening for a very quick chat, Tauseef Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC. Meeta Chakrabarti is an entrepreneur and a politician, someone who lives in West Bengal, and Dr. Veena Kumari. And there is Dr. Veena Kumari Singh, who is the HOD at the Burns and Plastic Surgery Department at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Meeta Chakrabarti, I'm starting with you. The state government, that is Mamata Banerjee's government, today in Supreme Court, while explaining its move, says, look, our aim was not to restrict the movement of women. Our aim was simply to secure them. If they don't do night shifts, they'll probably be more secure, and what happened at RG Kar will not happen. Were they being protective? Were they being pragmatic? Or was this move problematic according to you?
Well, I think it was very problematic because for the simple reason that you cannot restrict the professional choices that a woman gets to make. By saying that a woman cannot work in the night shift, you are restricting the professional opportunities she's going to get, because we have 24/7 service desk, we have the BPO industry, the ITES industry, the media, the emergency services, the medical fraternity. If you look at the medical service only, you have 60% of the staff, including the nurses, who are females. To even suggest that the night shifts can be only run by male doctors and male nurses is an absurd and very impractical suggestion. So the idea is that the workplaces has to be safe. As an employer or the government will have to ensure that there are protocols that are followed, but not restrict the female employees from coming to night shifts and working, because by doing that, you are creating a disbalance in the workforce. You are creating a very unequal field. You are limiting the professional opportunities that a female employee can get. And secondly, you are also, giving rise to a very typical stereotyped idea that women are safer at their home. Women need to be safe outside, be it in a social setup, be it in a professional setup, and it is the duty and the responsibility of the society as a whole and the government, of course, to ensure the safety for all women workers and all women passers-by even on the roads.
Meeta Chakrabarti, I'm going to ask you a counter question, not because I don't agree with you, because I remember having an earlier conversation with you when RG Kar had happened, and I was trying to ask mothers of daughters, what do they tell their daughters when something like this happens? Do they tell them to reclaim the night, or do they tell them to stay at home at night? And you had told me that as a mother, you're conflicted. You know what the right thing to tell your daughter is, But there are often times when you feel like telling her, "Raat ho gayi hai, mat jao bahar." So is the state government also then probably, if you want to be particularly kind to them, can we deduce that the state government was probably behaving like a concerned parent? Feudal, yes. Misinformed, misguided, yes. But as any parent would.
But you expect better from a state government. You know, a state government with all the resources that they have, with all their advisory bodies, we expect more responsible statements coming out of the state government. Yes, maybe misguided, maybe confused, maybe said with the right intention, but definitely the wrong statement to make because it only leads to more misogyny in the society. See, when we are talking about women's security, it is purely not a political problem. It is also a social problem that we are fighting here. And what we are trying to say by saying ki raat ko khol or claiming the night or claiming the city space, what we're trying to say is that this has to be a free, fair, and safe society for women to step out, to work, to explore their opportunities.
Okay.
And for the government to come and say and even remotely suggest that let us have more restrictions for women working in the night, it is counterproductive. So we expect better and more responsible
Tauseef, Rahman,
comments coming out from the state governments.
Okay. Tauseef or Rahman, what is so difficult to understand in what Meeta Chakrabarti of the Supreme Court of India is saying? I ask you this question because West Bengal's chief minister is a woman. Till today, she was India's only chief minister. Now we have a second one, Atishi. Now, she didn't become chief minister of West Bengal by saying, "मैं 12 घंटे से ज़्यादा काम नहीं करूँगी." She didn't become chief minister of West Bengal by saying that I will not go out and travel at night or do dharnas at night. Right?
Shreya,
she's a woman chief minister. She's climbed up the ranks. For someone like her to, I mean, I understand a knee-jerk reaction, but that knee-jerk reaction was criticized when it came, right? You remember when the notification came, all of us criticized it. And yet, till the Supreme Court tells you to, you don't want to withdraw it.
No. You see, Shreya, I mean, whatever the points Meeta ma'am or you are making, it makes sense. I mean, you cannot run behind this. But, see, it's just not a move. It was a concern. But at the same time, we need to understand the concern and we need to respect the dignity of female doctor as well. I mean, and now the judge has shown some concern. We will definitely look into it and something better will come up for sure. I mean, I see no place to politicize the issue as such. And there are some demands to avoid the night shift as well from different families as well. But again, end of the day, the Honorable Supreme Court has shown concern, which is notified by the state government and by the state lawyer. And, something better will come up. I mean, of course. I mean, this particular law or Ratir Shati points is not something to demean the woman's dignity. It is absolutely a concern. And if there is something subsidized to change this point,
I'm not talking about demeaning a woman's dignity.
Better action, Shreya. A better action will be taken.
Two things.
I agree with
two things. You said okay, two things. You said let's not politicize the issue. The point is, if I had to politicize the issue, I would have called someone from the BJP. I didn't. So my intent is not to politicize the issue, right? Secondly, you are saying that there is a certain concern behind this. I understand the concern, but is this how a state responds? The state is supposed to say, okay, there was a mistake made. The security wasn't enough. The first thing we are going to do is ensure that all hospitals in the state of West Bengal are so safe that women can do what they want to do, whether it is morning, evening or night. That is the response we expect from state governments, because otherwise it is a bit like saying कि women get raped, अरे उनको कपड़े ढंग से बाहर पहन के जाना चाहिए या रात को जाना ही नहीं चाहिए. It is that same mentality, that feudal mentality, the khap panchayat mentality that we talk about in Haryana. Now, that is not something we expect in the state of West Bengal. But Dr. Veena Kumari Singh, as a doctor yourself, Tauseef is telling me, look, that notification that came in asking for no night shifts for women, saying that women will not work for more than 12 hours in hospitals, came out of a sense of concern. Is this a concern that can actually end up backfiring at women doctors and women in general?
So, hi everyone. This is not at all a concern. It is just an escapist attitude that there has been a crime which has been committed. The government is not able to control the situation. So they are coming up with absurd solutions. A woman who is not allowed to do night duty. Think about a trainee who gets to operate emergency cases in the night, who gets to see the emergency medical cases when when she is on the night duty. So she will be not seeing these cases. She will be not managing these cases. Her training would be not be complete. And think about later on when her training is complete. She won't be hired by, say, some corporate hospitals or maybe the private hospitals, because they will think that one who is not available during the night shift, how are they going to work? So it is like cutting the female doctors right in all the possible ways. This is not a solution, rather a more damage. It is again one of the crimes. If a postgraduate student training is not given enough exposure, especially during the emergency duties, then the training is not at all complete. So this is just escapist attitude of the government. You understand?
I understand. And let me then just take it to Tauseef or Rahman. Tauseef, the women speaking are not from the BJP or any opposition. They are working women. And what they are saying is that it may be good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that is exactly what seems to have happened with West Bengal and its harebrained directive. My point is this. The Supreme Court said what women have been telling the West Bengal government for the last 2 weeks. Why did you not want to listen to working women and doctors working at RG Kar and the other hospitals in West Bengal and wait for a Supreme Court dressing down before you decided to withdraw the order?
Shreya, when I sit on TV, and especially in your shows, it's just not a show, because whatever I say and whatever we say, all the points have been marked by my political party, especially my Trinamool Congress, because whatever we say has been point, because you make sense. And my panelists who are sitting on the show, it makes sense, So when this whole thing started, so the protest was all over India, not only in Kolkata as well, from Delhi, Patna, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Now, there was a very particular line coming from the female doctor that they don't feel safe in the night because their shift are being spread more. Isko aur badhaya ja raha hai. But again, first I want to clarify that there is no such thing to demean any female, because I have sister, I have my mother in my house. I cannot demean anyone. But again, it's a part of concern. But with all due respect, out of all the Rathi Shatir points, Rathi Shatir points, if something is not doable, if something is not workable, if someone is feeling insensitive, if someone's sentiments are getting hurt, definitely the CM, the Honorable CM, will going to change this. That doesn't mean we are here to escape with something. We are here to do better. We are here to learn every day something from you, from all the females, and something better will come up, Shreya. I have no excuse such कि नहीं हमें अब वही करना है, नहीं politicize नहीं होना चाहिए. I am here to learn, and I have heard your all panelists, and these points will be made. Whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 2 years, something better will come up for sure, Shreya.
Okay, Dr. Veena, Tauseef is saying, look, the demands had come from women doctors themselves who were saying we are not feeling safe, that our shifts are being stretched unnecessarily. Now, if you ask me, working 12-hour shifts is inhuman. Whether it's a doctor, whether it's a laborer, whether it's a journalist, whether it's a news anchor, or whether it's a spokesperson of a political party. And that inhumanity holds true as much for men as for women. So I cannot quarrel with anyone if they say that shifts should not be beyond 12 hours. However, I will have a quarrel if they say shifts should not be beyond 12 hours only for women. Then I have a quarrel with it, because if rules are rules, then rules have to be same for men as well as women, right? We are fighting for equal opportunities, not concessions. But Dr. Veena Kumari, what the TMC spokesperson is saying is that this demand had come from the doctors themselves.
See, Shreya, you are absolutely right. Doctors never demanded that they will not be doing duties during the night. They clearly mentioned that they do not feel safe during night hours. So the concern is regarding the safety, not doing work. why this small thing is not being understood by the TMC government. Devoiding the doctor of their night shifts, saying that since they do not feel safe, they should not do the duties is totally absurd. Totally absurd. The thing is that they should be arranging for more secure. They should make the arrangement of the security like during the daytimes. In spite of doing this, they are looking for an alibi that doctors are asking that they are not safe. So arrange for the safety, no? And for the 12 hours, you are absolutely right. 12 hours is the maximum continuous duty hours in which a doctor can see the emergency cases. And that's why in the hospitals, after 12 hours, there is an off duty. And that off duty goes from 12 to 24 hours. Someone who has done the night has an off next morning. It is never a consecutive 24 or a 36 hours. So that was also inhuman on the hospital management part, on the department who made that duty roster. This we never do as an HOD. I cannot commit this type of crime that I ask my resident to do a duty at a stretch beyond 12 hours because we all have been residents. So what TMC is citing is totally absurd, totally irrational, without any logic. When they are demanding safety, provide them safety. And it is not about the people at home. That if my mother and sister are not safe going in the night outside the home, then they should not go. If the work is of that nature, they must go, provided adequate safety has to be there. So that is my concern. And that is as a doctor, as a resident. I'm a surgeon. We all have these things.
No, I think all of us should reclaim public spaces. Ye mat bolo ki, you know, that park, you only see men there, don't go there. No, go there. Go with your friends, reclaim that space. It's a public space. It's not just for men, it's for women. The night is not just for men, it's for women to go out as well if they wish to. So reclaim your space. And the good thing, the only good thing that is coming out from today's Supreme Court hearing is the fact that the West Bengal government, after being scolded by the Supreme Court, has decided to scrap this directive, which was being called discriminatory. I was calling it harebrained. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you very much, Dr. Veena Kumari. Thank you so much, as always, Meeta Chakravarti. And Tauseef Rahman, thank you very much for joining us as well. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.